Good morning, precious children. Are you all ready with your textbook and your notebook? Okay, so today is the 4th of June 2020. Okay, the year 2020. And the day is Thursday. Well, let me repeat what I told you yesterday. So let's have a small recap. Listen, what I expect from you. Teacher's expectations. You know, teacher expects some things from you. So, first of all, you have to mute your audios. And in the room where you are sitting, you have to be very quiet. No one should be talking in that room. Okay? So, the family members should also be quiet, and that room should be very silent. It should be noise free. Yes, and first point, you have to be very alert in class. Exams will be, in after 1 month or 2 months, you will have the exam. So teacher will in between conduct a test paper. So you will have to be very alert in class. I will give you some tips, some clues as to the, so if you listen very well in class, you will know how the teacher is going to set the questions, okay? And and when you get the best marks, okay, the first 3 marks, the first 3 top marks, teacher will be giving presents. So, second point in the screen, you have to keep your New Pathways English course book open before you. Today also, it is the same thing, and we move on to the next lesson today. But first, we will conclude this. We will have a recap now. Okay. Now, take page number 37 and take page number 37, Block City by Robert Louis Stevenson. Did all of you take page number 37, Block City by Robert Louis Stevenson? Okay, move on. And next point, you keep a single line 200 pages notebook near you. Today, I'll be giving you notes. Through the broadcast, teacher will be giving you notes. So, you have to keep a single line 200 pages notebook near you. And then you should listen carefully. I told you, teacher will be putting test papers online, and I will see to it that the top three attendees get presents. Okay, gifts and presents teacher will give. Now, second, it is chapter 2. We move on to yesterday's lesson. Just a recap. Block City. Some of you are attending it new, so they will also benefit from this. So that is why teacher is repeating this. And those who are attending this session, this Block City, the second time, it will get imprinted in your mind as you listen. Attend very carefully. Block City. What are you able to build with your blocks? What are you able to build with your blocks? The poet in the opening line is asking, the opening line of the poem, the poet is asking, what? A question. Starts with a question. This poem starts with a question. What are you able to build with your blocks? Blocks are building blocks. Okay, so the building blocks so the next line he gives the answer. So he says he is a capable builder. He is a capable builder. He builds with building blocks. So he says castles and palaces, temples and docks. You know what castles are? In the olden days, we had kings and queens, princes and princesses, like in the Cinderella story you read, in the KG classes and all, such princes and princesses lived in castles of olden days, and those castles exist even now. And there are palaces in the city. There are castles there are castles, palaces. Palaces are huge, magnificent structures where the powerful people live. Kings, queens, it can be the president or the prime minister, the president, or anyone can live in a palace. And then comes the temples, places of worship. Temples are places of temple is a place of worship. And then comes docks. Docks are where the ships are repaired. You know, the mighty ships. Ships are such grand things on the ocean. And these ships are, they are parked in docks. Okay, D-O-C-K-S, docks. So what are you able to build with your blocks? The answer to that question is castles and palaces, temples and dogs. Did the poet say huts, paper boats, and something small? No. The poet is building huge, great, magnificent things, castles, great buildings, palaces, another great building, and then comes temples, and then comes docks. This makes it a city. Okay, not a village. All these things are not found in the village. This is a huge metro city he is going to build. Wow, how ambitious and imaginative the poet is. Now, we move on to the third line. Rain may keep raining and others go roam. It was raining outside. Others were playing. Who are the others here? The poet who wrote this poem, Robert Louis Stevenson, says, it is raining and other children, his fellow playmates, his friends, are wandering outside in the rain, splashing water, enjoying the rain. Yes, just like you and me. They love to play in the rain. But this boy, who is the poet, the childhood of the poet is recreated here. And this boy, he enjoys, sitting in his house, in the living room of his house. And he is busy and he is happy, he is peaceful, doing something. But I can be happy and building at home. For the newcomers, take this instruction, underline, but I can be happy and building at home. Underline the last line of the fourth stanza. But I can be happy and building at home. So, let me explain to you. This is the key line, the key verse. See, some things teacher tells you. This is a key line or the important line. This is an important line that you make a note of it. It can come for the test paper which teacher is going to put online. And so I will tell you how to write the test paper online and then send it by email or WhatsApp. Teacher will tell you how to do it. Not now. Let us progress a bit and then we will come to it. Okay? But I can be happy. I can be happy. It is in this world, it is very difficult to be happy. It is easy to be sad. There are so many things to make you sad. Maybe somebody scolded you. Maybe something happened which you did not like. So many things can make you sad. Especially a child, a boy your age. Many things can make you unhappy. But there are some special things that can make you happy. For one boy, maybe it is getting an ice cream cone, Amul ice cream cone, that can make him happy. For another boy, maybe getting a calculator, that is, or a mobile, or something like that. Maybe attending the online class. Oh my God, that maybe is something that makes a boy happy or a girl happy. This boy in the poem is your age. You can really tune well into what this boy is thinking. Yes, but I can be happy. Who is the I here? The I here is the poet. But the poet can be happy. Can be happy. See that, very important. But The poet says, because he trusts us, the readers, he is disclosing a secret. I can be happy. What he feels inside, he is telling you, oh my God, but I can be happy and building at home. I can be very happy sitting inside the house and building. Building what, children? Building blocks. Building blocks. And what is he building? This imaginative poet, this happy poet, he is building castles, palaces, temples, and docks. Okay, so next, so you have underlined this, and then we will move on to the second stanza. And the second stanza says, let the sofa be mountains, the carpet be sea. The sofa, yes, he is building a city. Okay, let me tell you, the title of the poem justifies the poem. That means it suits the poem, and it is the reason, or the reason for this poem is the title that is given there. It is Block City. With the building blocks, he builds a city. The poet, as a child, he builds a city, a metro city. Good God, look at that, what all things he makes. Let the sofa be mountains, a carpet be sea. Let the sofa is somewhere you sit, and the mountains are the backdrop of the city, and the sofa in the living room becomes the furniture in the living room becomes the mountains for the poet. The mountain, the backdrop of the city, the carpet in the living room. I am going to ask a question which you have to answer in your mind. In your mind you will answer. Do not shout the answer. What color could be the carpet? What color could be the carpet which the poet is going to make the sea? Yes, the carpet is a blue carpet, a blue color carpet, which he changes into a sea. He turns it magically into a sea. I mean, no magic is happening, but he is arranging things in such a way, an orderly manner, that the living room becomes a metro city. Let the sofa be mountains, the carpet be sea. There I'll establish. Look at the word establish. Establish. Who establishes like empires and thrones, establishes. Okay, so that means there I will fix for myself or make it my own. There I'll establish a city for me. Me is the poet. There, with like this word there points to the living room where he is sitting. Okay, the toy city, the building block city, that is where it is kept in the living room. It is being built by the poet, the child, the boy in the living room. There I'll establish a city for me. Look at that, a city for me. What is he trying to tell us? The poet is telling us, you should have a rich imagination. Do not go for just ordinary things. Think of extraordinary things. Like think of inventing a cure for corona. Something like that, extraordinary, supernatural things. Say, is it possible for him to build a city? But he is building a city, but a model of the city. At least that he is doing. We should be encouraged by this. There I'll establish a city for me. A city for me. Like your teacher is encouraged by reading this poem. This poem is such a positive poem, and it encourages the teacher even. So children, you should also feel very inspired. The vibe that he is while reading the lines, you get the positive vibe. You feel like you want to do something extraordinary. And then comes a kirk and a mill and a palace beside. Look at the third line. It says K-I-R-K, kirk. Kirk. A kirk is a church. See, temples, palaces, castles, docks, kirk and mill. These are all part of the city, a big city. And all these things are there inside his city. Look at that, a kirk and a mill and a palace beside, a palace nearby, a kirk and a mill. And there is a palace nearby these two, and a harbor as well. A harbor as well. What is a harbor? Harbor is where the ships are parked. The ships are parked, and a harbor comes where, in a great big city you get harbors. In the village place you will not see a harbor. Where there is a harbor, there is a well developed city, because trade moves forward and the city is prosperous. That is why it has a harbor, and the city is active. The harbor is active means lot of money, lot of lot of wealth coming and going, and so trade is happening, and there are vessels. Take special note of this word. Underline vessels. Vessels are ships. Vessels are ships that may ride. Ride means come in and go out, okay? The ships come in and go out of the harbor. They are parked here for some time. In the city, in the city harbor, the vessels are parked for some time, and then all the cargo is taken and the passengers get down, and then again it is filled again with the cargo. Again it goes to many other places with the passengers and the cargo. That means the city is very prosperous. And I will tell you something towards the end of this poem. We are reaching the end of this poem, and regarding the harbor, the port and the docks, I will tell you something, okay? In the last line I will tell you. But before that, now we are in fourth stanza. No, now we are in the third stanza, the first line. Okay. Keep your finger on the, if you are not looking at the screen, you can look in your textbook and you keep your finger and follow what I am reading. Yes, great. Did you point at great? Point at each word. Great is the palace with pillar and wall. Look at that. The palace is not an ordinary construction. This boy is making with his building blocks. This boy is building with his building blocks a great big construction. And this construction is a palace, a house. If you can check the terrace of your house, your home. It will not have a tower. It will not have big pillars and see fort-like walls, strong fort-like walls, houses and buildings and such small places like where we live, these places do not have huge pillars and fort-like walls and then a tower on top of it. But the palace, because it is such a special construction, unique construction, it has pillars to make it strong. Such a big construction it is. So it needs pillars and walls, strong walls, not just ordinary walls, strong walls. And there is a tower on top of it. There is a tower on top of it all. I will read it again. You read it in your mind along with teacher. Great is the palace with pillar and wall. Great is the palace with pillar and wall. A sort of a tower on top of it all. A sort of a tower. Look at that, a kind of a tower. There are different types. Proclaiming the richness of the grand, palace. Also like that. This is another one, a sort of a tower on top of it all. The palace has pillars and walls and towers and steps coming down in an orderly way. The steps are coming down in an orderly way. I am going to ask you all a question. You should keep this in mind, that you should not blurt out the answers. You should, in your mind say the answer. Okay. Steps coming down. What does that mean? Underline steps coming down. What does that mean? Do you think the steps are coming down from the sky? No, no, no. How can the steps come down from the sky? From where are these steps coming down? From where is it coming down? The steps are coming down from the. Please say the answer in your mind, children. Say in your mind. Okay. So, and steps are coming down in an orderly way. In an orderly way, the steps are coming down from where? From the top of the palace, and from the top of the palace, from the tower, the steps are coming down in an orderly way. Even the construction of the steps of the palace is beautiful. Okay. And then to where the fourth line of the third stanza, to where my toy vessels lie safe in the bay. To where? What is coming down? Steps are coming down. From where is it coming down? From the tower. And from the tower, the steps are coming down to where? Where the my shows, the my means it is coming down from the my shows the poet who is hidden here. The my shows it is the poet who is writing it is the poet who is saying this. To where the poet's toy vessels lie. To where the poet's toy vessels lie. The toy vessels, not the real ships. Vessels are ships. The toy vessels lie safe in the bay. How do they lie safe in the bay? Because what is the bay? The bay is a place where the sea comes, takes a part of the land. They are inlets into the land, and the sea fills that place. Okay. And the sea where the ships are parked safely. What if a ship is not parked or anchored safely by being tied to the port? The port will have poles, and strong poles, and with iron chains the ship is tied to the port. What if that is not done? Then the winds and the tides in the sea will take the ship somewhere far away. It will just float and go, and it will not be found again. It will get lost in the sea. You cannot find. Sea is so vast, you cannot find it then. So you will not be able to find it then. So that is why ships are anchored, tied to poles, and kept safe in the bay. To where my toy vessels lie safe in the bay. Okay, we move on to the fourth stanza. This one is sailing. Yes, one ship is sailing and the other ship is moored. Moored. One ship is sailing. You know what is happening? It shows activity. Activity in the city. What does it mean? Activity shows there is so much going on in the city because it is a rich city. Many people come to the city. Many people from the city visit other cities. So, transportation taking place, and also goods are carried from another city to this city, and also another from another city, people also come to visit this city. So this city is famous. This city which the poet is building is a very famous rich city. This one is sailing, shows activity. Sailing is activity. This one is sailing. The present moment, it is sailing. And that one is moored. Another ship is moored. It is tied to the pole in the harbor. It is lying there. The cargo is being loaded. It will go on its journey. It will embark on its next journey the next day. Okay? So you have to understand, it is a prosperous rich city which the poet is building is a prosperous rich city. And hark, look at the next line, hark. Hark means listen. Hark. Have you heard the Christmas carol? Hark, the herald angels sing. Hark means listen to the herald. What? The news of the angels that they are bringing. See, hark to the song. Here in the second line, hark to the song of the sailors on board. Hark to the song of the sailors on board. Listen to the song. Who is singing the song? The song is sung by the sailors. Why are they singing the song? Because they are on board. They are starting their journey on board. Get ready, set. Just like that, the sailors are on board. They are starting the journey. Hark to the song of the sailors on board. Hark, listen to the song of the sailors on board. Haven't you, don't you know during the boat race, we have the boat race in Kerala, you know, the people who are rowing the boat, they will be singing and rowing. That gives them so much energy. That is how the sailors sing a song on board. The ship which is moving, it has sailors singing on the board, singing on board. Singing on board means they are on the ship, they are singing, and the ship is moving. And see, come on, we are moving to the third stanza. Look at the visual imagery. The visual imagery in the poem shows, see on the steps. The poet is attracting our attention. How well the poem is constructed. And see on the steps of my palace. On the steps of my palace, the poet's palace, you can see on the steps of the king's palace, I mean the steps of the boy's palace. The city is the boy's city, so the palace is also his. And because he is establishing the city, but kings and queens live in the palace. So, and see on the steps of my palace. What are these steps used for? For coming and going, climbing up and climbing down. So the steps of my palace, the kings coming and going with presents and things. Who? Not ordinary people. They are kings, they are powerful. Kings are coming and going. Steps are used to come and go, to climb up, to climb down. And the kings are coming and going with presents. Do you know, in olden days, the kings of one place used to go with presents to faraway countries, and from faraway countries, people from faraway countries, other kings came to visit the king living in the city. So just like that, the kings come and go. On the steps of my palace, the kings come and go with coming and going with, it is shown, coming and going, it is continuing, okay? Coming and going with presents and things, with presents and things. Oh, the kings carry presents. Maybe they got it from faraway land, or maybe the kings are kings from faraway land going to visit the king in the city. And presents and things. So many things also they carry. Such, what a powerful imagery this is. Didn't you see in your mind all this happening? That is the ability of the poet. Using visual imagery, he took us in the first stanza. He took us. Let us see. There are 4 stanzas. In the first stanza, the poet took us to his living room, and then asking a question, he took us to his living room. You can understand there is one more person with the poet. How will you understand that? Because the question, he is asking a question that says, there is, what are you able to build with your blocks? That says there is one more person with the poet. And let the sofa be mountains. Here also, the poet is taking us to the living room, and from there, in the second stanza, he moves to the harbor, the kirk, the mill, and then he goes to the palace and the port, and then he goes he takes us using words, he takes us to these places. That is the ability of a true poet. I admire Robert Louis Stevenson. This one is sailing and that one is moored. Hark to the song of the sailors on board, and see on the steps of my palace the kings coming and going with presents and things. Robert Louis Stevenson, also known as R.L. Stevenson. Now, the next one is word meanings. Now, you have to open your notebook where you are sitting. You have to open your notebook, keep near the laptop or the computer or your mobile, whichever medium you are using. You have to open your notebook and write the name of the chapter now. In the first page, you will write the name of the chapter. I hope you wrote your name, class, division, and the subject in your notebook, English in your notebook. Now you will write chapter 2, just like this, 2 and block city and underline it. The title should be written in block letters. Okay, that means, see this, B-L-O-C-K, then leave space and write C-I-T-Y. Did you underline? Yes, underline block city. Now we move on to the first. After writing the title, you will move on to write what teacher is showing on the screen. Yes, I will be repeating as well as showing on the screen. Yes, write word meanings. W-O-R-D-M-E-A-N-I-N-G-S. Word meanings. The first word. Underline word meanings. And write K-I-R-K, kirk. And put a dash and write church. C-H-U-R-C-H. You have to write when teacher tells you to write, okay? Be with teacher. Do not lag behind. You can write with a pen. Till 4th standard you wrote with pencil, many of you. But now you can use the pen in your notebook. Aren't you excited? Yes, you have to use blue ink or black ink. Not any other color. Please do not decorate with so many colors. Write with blue ink or black ink, okay? So, word meanings, underline. You finished writing the title of the poem, and now you are writing word meanings. Then you underlined word meanings. Then the first word meaning, K-I-R-K, church. K-I-R-K, kirk means C-H-U-R-C-H, church. Next we move on to the second word, M-O-O-R-E-D, mood. You have to write with teacher, M-O-O-R-E-D, mood, attached. Write the meaning, attached or tied up to a fixed object. A-T-T-A-C-H-E-D, or tied up, T-I-E-D, tied up to a fixed, F-I-X-E-D, fixed object, O-B-J-E-C-T. Third word, hark, H-A-R-K, hark. Now write the meaning. Look at the screen and write L-I-S-T-E-E-N, L-I-S-T-E-N, listen. Hark means listen. Now write the fourth word. Please write the fourth word. Castles. C-A-S-T-L-E-S, castles, meaning R-O-Y-A-L, royal, places, P-L-A-C-E-S, places of living, L-I-V-I-N-G, living. Next we move on to the next word, palaces, P-A-L-A-C-E-S. P-A-L-A-C-E-S, palaces. I hope you finish writing. P-A-L-A-C-E-S. Teacher loves children who write with teacher. As I write on the board, you should, write with teacher, just like that. Now, as I say, you should finish writing. Okay. P-A-L-A-C-E-S, palaces, meaning place, P-L-A-C-E, place, where, W-H-E-R-E, where kings and queens live, K-I-N-G-S, and queens, Q-U-E-E-N-S, queens live, L-I-V-E, live. Next comes the sixth word, meaning temples. Am I a bit fast? I think I will pause for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Yes, we move on to the next word is temples. T-E-M-P-L-E-S, temples. Places of worship, or you can write place of worship. P-L-A-C-E-O-F-W-O-R-S-H-I-P, place of worship. Next you write the seventh word. These words are important. This will enhance your vocabulary as you move on to the higher classes. These words will help you in speaking and writing. Okay, so take this, is very important. Yes, I will ask you for the test paper questions from these words. Make sentences with these words. I will ask you for the test paper, online test paper. Now you will write down the seventh word, D-O-C-K-S. Docks. Docks. You write H-A-R-B-O-U-R, harbor. Docks, harbor, comma, a place where ships come closer to land. A place where ships come closer to land. C-L-O-S-E-R, closer to land. Now the eighth word is, okay, wait, let me give you time to finish. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm waiting for you to finish. Harbor, H-A-R-B-O-U-R, comma, a place where ships come closer to land. Next is the eighth word, sofa, S-O-F-A, sofa. Write furniture for sitting. Furniture for sitting, S-O-F-A, sofa. Furniture, check the spelling, F-U-R-N-I-T-U-R-E, furniture for sitting, S-I-T-T-I-N-G, sitting. Next comes carpet. The next word is carpet, C-A-R-P-E-T, carpet. Carpet is a floor decoration. Write down. Look at the screen and write floor, F-L-O-O-R, floor, decoration, D-E-C-O-R-A-T-I-O-N, decoration, floor, decoration, and covering, and C-O-V-E-R-I-N-G. Okay, the next word is establish. The next word is establish, E-S-T-A-B-L-I-S-H, establish. Establish means build, B-U-I-L-D, build, B-U-I-L-D, build. Establish means build, B-U-I-L-D, build. Next is number 11, Kirk. Did you write Kirk before? I think you wrote Kirk before. Then you write mill. Number 11, you write mill, M-I-L-L, mill. A place where Grains are powdered using wind power. Okay, mill. M-I-L-L, mill is a place where grains are powdered using wind power. Mill. Number 11 is mill, a place where grains are powdered. Are you all writing? Yes, right. Okay, a place where grains are powdered using wind power. Next one is the 13th word. See the 13th word, harbor. H-A-R-B-O-U-R, harbor. Harbor. H-A-R-B-O-U-R, harbor. It is port. P-O-R-T, port, comma, where ships come. Port where ships come. P-O-R-T, port where ships come. And the 13th word is vessels. Vessels. See, vessels. V-E-S-S-E-L-S, vessels, meaning S-H-I-P-S. S-H-I-P-S. Vessels, meaning S-H-I-P-S, ships. S-H-I-P-S. So, the next word is pillar. The 14th word is pillar. P-I-L-L-A-R, pillar. Strong, S-T-R-O-N-G, strong. Supporting, S-U-P-P-O-R-T-I-N-G, strong, supporting towers. Strong, supporting towers. Okay, we will stop with strong supporting towers because it is time for me to stop. My period is over. I will come again, and from next class, and in the next class I will start with the word meaning of tower. You should be ready with your notebook. Okay, my children, I'll miss you all, but see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. In the next class we will write the word meanings from the 15th word meaning. Okay, bye children. Signing off, Mary and teacher. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.